Okay, so what we're not gonna do today is comment on the hair. Because here's the thing, with it being a holiday weekend, I kind of forgot, like, oh, you still have to film, while I was like, I'm not putting any dry shampoo in my hair all weekend. I'm not washing it all weekend. Like, nope, no one's seen me. I'm out by the pool. I'm out in the sun. I don't need my hair to look nice. Thank you for knocking that over, Dorian. Like, I just don't need it to. And then I'm like, you still gotta film. You still got a video up on Tuesday, even though it's a long weekend. Like, YouTube doesn't take long weekends. So, yeah, here we are. So just don't comment. Dorian. See, even he's like down with the dry shampoo this weekend. I have a really quick video to film today, which I'm actually very thankful for because I want something quick to film and quick to edit. And that is my June TBR. We're already halfway through the year. I already filled out now this whole section for the first 6 months of the year. So yeah, you might notice there are a lot of blanks still because you know what? I'm not good at sticking to TBRs, but we try. We try. Also, is that a fuzz on my shirt? It is. Lovely. Okay. Without further ado, let's jump into this shit. So first up, for Smut Club that I co-host with Cheyenne from That Tall Book Girl, we are going to be reading Phil by H.J. Stallard. It's actually father-in-law. However, on the live show, I didn't quite realize that. And I was like, oh, it's called Phil. It's father-in-law. This one is about a woman who falls in love with her father-in-law. And that's all you need to know. This cover it's a cover. You know what? I'm really looking forward to it. I've heard it's super wild. Kindle After Dark on Instagram did like a little collage review of it and said that it's like one of the most bonkers books she's read. And it sounds perfect for Smut Club. Like, it sounds super, super dirty and like just wild and like a fun time. So that's what Smut Club needs right now. So that's what Smut Club's doing right now. So that is our pick for this month. And then for Out of Bounds book club that I co-host with Nikki from Nikki and Bookland, we are going to be reading The Wicked by Rosie Alice. So I've never read anything by this author before. They're a cover designer and I really, really love their cover designs. And this is the second book in a series. However, it is a standalone, like you don't need to read the first one. And it's student, teacher, older woman, younger man. And I don't really know that much past it. I've been actually trying to kind of like avoid looking any further into it, mostly because my favorite girly, Lucia Franco, had posted on her stories that she got an arc of this book and she was like raving about it, obsessed. She's like, the angst, the tension, the spice, everything. She's like, this is what I want in all of my books. And she's like, where can I find more of this? And I was like, okay, if Lucia's loving it, I'm gonna love it. So I'm very much looking forward to this one for Out of Bounds. And I also think it looks very unassuming. You know, the cover is kind of like, not like plain. I mean, it's kind of plain. I've seen some of other Rosie Alice's cover designs and they are like phenomenal. Like, really, like some of them are really intricate, but this one's just very simple. So it's not really giving a whole lot away, but I'm very excited to read it. Next up, I have 2 new releases releasing this month that I want to read. So the first one is Shut Out by Avery Keelan. So this is the second book and I don't know what this series is. Offside is the first one, but I'm assuming that this is a standalone because it's following a different couple, just like all set at the same university probably. And again, following hockey players. I think we've already met. Have we met both of the characters in this one? In the first book? Honestly, why can't I remember that many details anymore about Offside? I loved that book. So I'm really excited for this one. My only thing with Offside was that it was too long. Like, there was a plot line at the end that I did not think, like, didn't really add anything to the book and I thought like really could have been cut and like it could have been pared down like at least 100 pages. So I am worried about the length with this one, but I am excited for it nonetheless. And again, with summer, I like reading sports romances in the summer. It just feels like right. So we will see. And then the second new release for the month, the one that I'm the most excited for, because y'all know, anything this woman writes, I'm gonna read. Keep Her Safe by QB Tyler, QB's new book. Yes, please. It's a bodyguard and an age gap because why not? Why not do an age gap? And I think she said like it's not one of her more like taboo ones besides like the age gap. And like I think there's like a little bit of like daddy thrown in there because what would be her books without a little bit of that thrown in there? And I'm just very super excited for it. I think it sounds great. I love the bodyguard trope. I'm really into it. And I have never had a loss with QB's books. So I have a feeling that this is going to be a good one. So very excited for that one. Next up, I want to read Frost by Eliza James. So I have been wanting to get back into more Eliza James books, and with her being at Book Bonanza next month, it just seems like right that I read another one. And Frost is the next one that kind of like has piqued my interest the most from her. And honestly, I don't really even know what it's about because the blurb is like very like general, like it's not super specific. I think it's like a Twisted Tales retelling, but I don't know like what story is it necessarily retelling. Like maybe is it like Frozen because of Frost? That could be completely wrong. But all I know is that it's sapphic. It appears a little bit darker, a little bit grittier. Like there's like words like monster thrown in, not like literal monster, but you know, like the monster inside of all of us, thrown in the description. And I don't know, it sounds great and I want to read it. If it can even deliver like half as much of the energy that Vibe gave me, I'll be a happy person with it. Next up, oh, I guess you could kind of see these. Well, let's just go through them then. Next up, I want to read Headstrong Like Us by Kristen Becker-Ritchie. This is the 6th book in the Like Us series. As of this point, when this video, because this video is going up on Tuesday, potentially my Like Us vlog is going up on Friday, or else like the following week's Friday, of me reading the first 5 books in the Like Us series. I'm in the middle of the 5th one, and I just want to keep going. I don't think I'm going to vlog the entire series because, as I've said before, my original After / Calloway Sisters series, or not After, Addicted / Calloway Sisters series vlog was like over an hour long, and it was 10 books. It was a lot. It was a lot for you guys, a lot for me. So I'm only doing the first 5 books for a vlog. If that one like does well, then potentially I'll vlog the rest of the series, at least that's out so far, but probably not planning on it. However, I am going to keep continuing because I'm absolutely loving the series. And this is the 6th book, and it's Mafi and Pharaoh's 4th book in the series. I'm very excited. I can't really say anything plot-wise because then it would give away like some of the stuff that's happened in the first books. But very excited to keep going in it. I'm really loving it, and I'm sad that I put it off for so long because so many people talked so negatively about it, but like I'm literally loving it, like obsessed with it. So my next reading vlog that I'm going to do after I finish the Like Us, I'm going to be doing a Kingmakers series reading vlog for you guys. So Kingmakers by Sophie Lark. I'm finally all caught up with all the books that I need to in order to start Kingmakers, and I'm very excited. So I put the air on my TBR for this month. I might get to it, I might not, I might get to more, who knows. I don't know when that reading vlog is gonna be up. I'm not making any promises, but I will be vlogging it, and the air is the first book. So if you aren't aware, this is like the 2nd generation of her Brutal Birthright series. And so this whose son is this first book? I think, is it Sebastian and Yelena's? I think so, because is this Leo's book? Oh, I love the family trees. Okay, Leo. Yes, but I don't know who the heroine is. Maybe I'm not supposed to know who the heroine is. Regardless, I'm very excited. It's like Harry Potter meets Mafia, like Hogwarts. I don't think it's like fantasy, but it's like a Mafia academy for Mafia people's children to go to. I don't know. It sounds amazing. And so many people have said that this is like incredible and would be good for a vlog. So I'm gonna listen to you guys. I'll vlog it. You can see my thoughts along the way. I'm most excited for The Bully, which is book 3, because everyone talks about Dean, and book 5, which is The Savage, because that is Nero and Camille's daughter, and I am very excited to experience her. Then next up, my last one that I have on my physical TBR is Her Soul for Revenge by Harley LaRue. You might be like, that looks more like a spooky season book. It does, but here's the thing. I never read spooky season books when it's actually spooky season. And so I'm going to stop telling myself that I need to like save this for October, when then by the time I get to October, I'm not going to be in the mood for it again. So I'm going to put Her Soul for Revenge, the 2nd book in the Souls trilogy by Harley LaRue, on my TBR right now, because I am really in the mood for like a demon book right now for some reason. I don't know. It just like, I saw it on my shelves and I was like, yes, I want to read that right now. So this one, I don't know if they can be read as standalones, because you meet both of these characters in the first book. The heroine, this cult tried to sacrifice her, and this demon is BFFs with the demon from the first book. So I don't know if you can read them individually, because I think obviously like some of the experiences from the first book and some of the background information about the cult from the first book would maybe be like important, but I don't know. You can look it up before you dive in, like if you haven't read Her Soul to Take. However, I highly recommend it because I love Her Soul to Take, but really excited to jump into this one. And yeah, so I know this heroine, I think she's trying to get revenge on the people who tried to sacrifice her. And then Zane, the demon, is like, well, if you sell me your soul, I'll help you get your revenge. And they like strike up a deal and go on like a little revenge hunt. I love a woman with a revenge agenda, so I'm ready. Okay, next up, I want to read By Virtue I Fall by Cora Riley. So this is the 3rd book in the Sins of the Father series. I have been very disappointed by this series. Did I do a reading vlog for the 2nd book? I can't remember. I know I did a reading vlog for the first one. Maybe I did one for the 2nd, and I did not like them at all. At all. But you guys know how much I love Cora Riley's Mafia universes. Like her Mafia books are my favorite Mafia books of all time. So I was very much looking forward to this series. So then those first 2 books like just were a complete no for me. So here's the thing. I want to keep going, mostly because I want to get to the 4th book. And I could just jump to that one. I don't need to read book 3 because this one is about Anna, who is Dante and Valentina's daughter. And I know I can just jump into this one and it's like her romance with her bodyguard. However, I still want to like experience it. I love the bodyguard trope. So I want to give it a go and see if it's better. I've heard that this one is better than the first 2 and that the 4th one is better than like all 3 combined. So we'll see. I'm going to give it a go. If anything, they're like quick books. Like Cora's books are really easy to read. So we'll see. I am excited for it, but I would say I'm cautiously optimistic. Next up, I want to read Wrecked by Lauren Asher. So I don't know what number, and is this the 3rd book in the Dorian in the Dirty Air series? He can see his hair like floating in the sunbeam that's popping in here, and he's like trying to like jump in the air and catch it. Dorian, what are you doing? So I've read the first book in this series, and this one is number 3. And honestly, I didn't love the first book, and that's why I haven't continued on. However, this one has still remained on my radar because I've heard, I think it's the hero that has anxiety, and this supposedly has really good anxiety representation. I love that. I love reading about that in books. So I want to give it a go. And also I know like Tori, like this is one of like her favorite books, Tori from Novel Life. And then Zay from Woody Reads, she just read this and was like raving about it to me. So we're gonna give it a go. I'm gonna give it a chance, but if I don't like it, it's gonna be the last Lauren Asher book I read. Next up, I want to read Gravity by Sarah Kate. So I actually started this book last year, maybe. It was like a free ebook download, so I have the ebook on my Kindle, but I just like was not feeling it and I just like put it down. No reason, like I didn't dislike it, it was more like I just wasn't in the mood for it, so I put it down. However, I want to pick it up again. I think it sounds like a good like summary type read. It's about this heroine and a father and a son, and they take her to like some island, and then she like picks between the father and the son. I don't know, but I'm pretty close to getting caught up on all of Sarah Kate's backlist. So again, like a good one to chip away at that with. And I don't know, I'm just like, for some reason, you know, sometimes those books just hit you out of nowhere where you're like, I want to read that. And that's how I feel with this one. So I want to read it. Next up, to stick with our summary type theme, I want to read Truth or Dare by Danielle Allen. So this book follows a group of friends who go for like a vacation or like a destination wedding maybe for one of them. I think they were like college friends, but it's like years after they've all graduated, and they all sit around and play like a harmless game of Truth or Dare. But then I think like our hero and heroine end up maybe like getting dared into like kissing, but then it's like maybe it turns into more because they realize that like they still have feelings for each other, or maybe like are finally revealing their feelings for each other. I don't know, but it sounds fun. Like destination wedding, yes please. Group of friends getting back together in like a tropical location, playing a game together, yes please. I don't know, it just sounds like a fun time and a good like summer read. Then I want to read My Darling Arrow by Saffron Kent. So this is the first book in the St. Mary Rebel series. However, what is it, Bad Boy Blues is like 0.5, so I think you can like read that one beforehand, but you don't have to. And then My Darling Arrow is this one. So I really love Saffron Kent's books. In this one, so I think our heroine gets sent away to this school for like troubled young adults or something, and when she gets there, she has a crush on the dean's son, and she kind of like follows him around. She maybe sounds like a little stalkerish. I could be wrong on that. Maybe I'm like projecting the unrequited onto this book, but I think she has like some pretty strong feelings for the hero. However, the hero is dating her sister and is like the love of her sister's life. Sold! So I want to read that. And lastly, I want to read Twisted by Emily McIntyre. I was going back and forth on if I was going to wait for the audio to come out on this one, because I've listened to Scarred and Wretched on audio and I loved both of those. However, when I read Hooked physically, like it was my favorite. So I don't know if it was the story or if it was like reading it physically, but I don't really want to wait anymore for the Twisted audiobook to come out. So I'm going to give this one a go. It is the 4th book in our Twisted Tale series. However, they're all like standalones. They have nothing to do with each other. And this one is Aladdin inspired. Like I think it's like Jasmine and Jafar maybe, but it's like set in like real, or not like real life, but like our regular world. It's not like a fantasy retelling of it. And I don't know, I'm just excited. I've really been enjoying the Never After series this year. So I want to give Twisted a go, and also I just want to be supportive of Emily McIntyre while she's going through a hard time. So that's why it's like, then you know what? I'm not gonna wait for the audiobook. I might as well just read it on Kindle. So anyways, that is the books that I have on my TBR right now. That won't stay the same. That, like, I won't read all of them, but you know, I do this every month anyways, and it's fun to track. And then it's nice to go back and look like what were my priority ones months before that I like still haven't gotten around to. So anyways, those are kind of my priority ones right now. So yeah, that's it for today. Like I said, I don't know, I might have a vlog up on Friday, or I might have my wrap up on Friday. We will see. We'll see what ends up happening there, but regardless, you'll have a video Friday. So anyways, that is it for today's video, and I will see you when I see ya.